Hello, my name's Jenny Hill and I'm an assistant priest in the fivefold family of churches. Are we nearly there yet? That was the question we were always asked by our children, especially when something special was going to happen or we were going on holiday. The only problem was that once we'd only been in the car for about 15 minutes. But thinking about Christmas, are we nearly there yet? And I think in some ways the answer to that is yes. If you're counting down from this Sunday, there are only a few more sleeps left. Maybe you've got an advent calendar with lovely bits of chocolate hiding behind the doors. And there are only a few more doors left until we can open the best one, the last one, on Christmas Eve. That tells us that Christmas is tantalisingly close. In church, of course, we don't have any chocolatey calendars, but we do have an Advent ring. 4 candles for each of the Sundays in Advent with a white one in the middle. And this Sunday we light the 4th, so all of the 4 coloured candles are alight, which tells us that Christmas is now very close. The white one, of course, we light on Christmas Day to remind us that Jesus has been born. So are we nearly there yet? Are the presents bought? Are they wrapped? Are the cards posted? Is the food organised? Is anybody vegan this year? And who's coming? I guess we're all a bit anxious that given the levels of COVID around, we will still be able to meet up with our family and friends as we'd hoped and planned. So are we nearly there? Are we ready yet? Have we remembered all the things we need to do before we arrive at Christmas Day? And there are so many doing things, stuff we need to do and organise and think about. But what about the being things? Are we ready yet? What's going on inside of us? Now, last Christmas was difficult. Many of us missed out on seeing our families and friends, and that was hard. And we hope that it will be better this year. But maybe like me, you are feeling a bit anxious. What's the wisest thing to do about meeting up? Might somebody get pinged at the last minute? We all want to get back to normal, but, things are not quite normal, are they? Whatever happens, for many families there could still be a special someone who's missing because they can no longer travel, or maybe even have died. And although we don't set a place at the table, their absence will never be forgotten. Are we ready yet for all the emotions that Christmas will bring? Really, Christmas is such a busy time for us, trying not to forget anything important, that sometimes we can lose the sight of what Christmas is all about. It's not just about food and presents and being together, although that's a really important part of any celebration. But being able to share, show kindness, generosity, and sometimes patience with those we find difficult. With only a few days left to go, I find it really helpful to go back to the Christmas story and imagine the first Christmas. The long journey that Mary and Joseph made from Nazareth to Bethlehem, up the hills and crossing the rough terrain, with Mary heavily pregnant. Must have taken them longer than the others that they travelled alongside, and maybe that was why when they got to Bethlehem all the rooms had been taken. But were they ready for the birth of a baby? We hope they were, because of course that's where it all happened. I like to think that maybe some of the other women family members were able to be with Mary as she gave birth, so that they felt surrounded with love when Jesus took his first breath and cried his first cry. In the quiet of the night, Mary and Joseph were tired, yet relieved with the safe arrival of their son. They snuggled down together under the blankets. Before at the door there were scruffy shepherds, coming to gaze upon the new baby, telling fanciful stories about special stars and angels singing in the sky. And there was Mary, smiling at them, showing her child, and hoping that they would soon go and let her get some sleep. So are we nearly there yet? Not just with the practical doing things, but with the being things. Remembering why we celebrate Christmas. But this special, much-loved baby, small and vulnerable, totally dependent on his mother for food and warmth and shelter, was born into very humble surroundings far from home. His coming, announced by angels, visited by both those scruffy, humble shepherds and later by rich, gift-bearing travellers from the east. And the almost hidden miracle was that this baby was the one that many people were longing for, the Messiah who would ultimately save the world. The baby, named Jesus by his parents, was and still is Emmanuel, God with us. That's what we believe. And that was good news for over 2,000 years ago when it happened, and it's still good news for us today. Are we nearly there yet? Are we ready? Yes, I think we are. So may I wish you every blessing as we count down these last few days to celebrate with joy the birth of Jesus. And I hope you have a very happy Christmas when it arrives.